didn't see you there. My name's Riley Membry, and this year I began my studies of a Bachelor of Education at Griffith University to start my journey of becoming a teacher. Little did I know from the moment that I could speak, my teaching philosophy was developing from day one. Ages of socialisation, day-to-day life, and my very own morals and values were helping me grow. Although I am very fresh on the topic, I've started to realise my very own teaching philosophy now stems from a strong passion from social justice, knowledge and care. It's been proven that 59% of all students depends on a personal experiences with teachers and in an educational society. We as teachers are strong agents of socialisation, and I agree, in order to make a difference and bring out the best in my students, I must be confident and capable of bringing out the best in myself. I believe the purpose of education is not only to enable a child the opportunity to express themselves, but to reach their best and full potential, and also to provide a safe and nurturing environment full of growth, freedom, creativity for all diverse learners.
A philosopher I resonate with is Nell Noddings. Caring is the very bedrock of all successful education in contemporary schooling and can be revitalised in its light. Much like Noddings' theory for care, I agree to care for all of my students, not only with academic work, but create interpersonal relationships and embrace uniqueness and celebrate diversity. In order to relate this to my future classrooms, I will use the analogy of baking cupcakes. Now, there is no universal way to create a recipe, and each and every educator has their own pedagogy and/or secret ingredient. However, as we all work from an established set of ingredients such as the Australian curriculum and national standards, the preparation, handling and delivery of the final product varies significantly. Every student brings their own virtual backpack which are full of unique skills and experiences, and as teachers, we cannot assume that every student has the same apprehension, attributes or learning styles. Much like a recipe, some may be extremely detailed and full of knowledge, while others may be limited, and in some cases they may even lack or have little to no English knowledge at all. As teachers, we need to be aware of diversity in our classrooms and be responsive by implementing lessons, pedagogical practices that cater for all heterogeneous students and classes, in order to engage them in group activities, student relationships, and keep the classroom tasks suited for the curriculum. Opportunity and meritocracy are meant to be the primary goals of the modern education system, where success is simply the product of individual effort and ability. My pedagogy will be much more of a functionalist perspective, to ensure students have the power to work together and break away from cultural capital and mythical norms, by providing not just equality but equity in my classroom.
Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a famous French philosopher and educationalist in the late 1700s. Rousseau believed that we are naturally born good and then nurtured to be evil, by the corruptions of society. We are born capable of sensation and from birth are affected in diverse ways by the objects around us. As soon as we become conscious of our sensations, we are inclined to seek or to avoid the objects which produce them.
Much like meanings of differences, I believe and agree evilness and self-concepts are produced and are an act of the environment we are exposed to. Therefore, I will strive to make my classroom a place where diversity is valued and not punished. Make the citizen good by training, and everything else will follow. Now, as Confucius said, faced with what is right, to leave it undone shows a lack of courage. We need to recognize discrimination and take responsibility for any chance of mistreatment for those who are considered different. With a paramount focus on social justice, it is inevitable that differences exist within our world. Things such as gender, socioeconomics, cultural backgrounds, and sexualities make it evident that we live in a heterogeneous society. Back to the baking. My goal is to make sure my classroom is a place based on equity and excellence, a place where there will be no room for stereotypes or for overt or covert discrimination. Much like baking, over the years, traditional recipes and texts have been used to set the basis of an educational cake. However, with society constantly evolving, so do our recipes. As a teacher, I will ensure that both traditional and transformative texts are used to encourage my students that meanings are produced and therefore can be changed. There are no obligations for your identity, and males can both be masculine and a dancer, and women can be feminine and still work on a construction site. I would teach my students that there is no hierarchy in my classroom, nor should there be one in the real world. Australian Professional Standards for Teaching communicates that not only must we know our students and how they learn, but we must also assess them, provide feedback, and report on the students' learning. Much like with the final product, it's time to taste and prepare a critical analysis for the baker. By knowing and understanding our students, not only does this help us to create relevant content, but it provides relationships and comfortable environments to grow and accept feedbacks to help students evolve and learn.